Good night, Mary Bellis. Good night. I have spoken a lot of times on this very spot. A lot of times. And I am particularly happy to speak here again tonight.
That's right.
I wanted to notice something. That none of the persons who spoke tonight engaged in criticizing anybody in a personal way. We are dealing with the issues that confront the people of this country. And that is why we have the best team for this general election. That is why we have the best team. We are dealing with the issues, the problems that confront our nation, the problems that confront all of us, including myself and all the members of this team. But tonight I want to spend a little time on something that gives me a bit of concern. Something that I believe has been overdone by the ULP. I'm referring here, and I spoke about it in Fitzhugh a couple of nights ago. I spoke about the VAT and the impact that VAT is having on the cost of living and on the prices that people have to pay in the supermarkets for their food and other items. And I want to spend a little time on that tonight. Now there are some, right now, we are looking to remove from VAT about 140 items from the VAT.
That's right. You want them.
And the reason for that, the reasons are many. The reasons are many. I don't know how many of you have any idea how much money the government collects on VAT at this time. I checked the estimates just this afternoon before coming here, and I can tell you that for 2014, the government expected to collect $75 million from VAT in 2014. $75 million was collected from VAT in 2014. That's an estimate. That is over $6 million a month. That comes out of your pocket to pay VAT. And therefore those persons who say they are not taxpayers because they don't pay income tax must remember that they're really taxpayers. VAT is a tax. And you pay VAT on all sorts of items, and I want to read some items tonight that are still on VAT. Still in it. Just give me a minute there. You know ferry then VAT? In the supermarket? You know that? You know eggs on VAT?
Come on, fix the mic.
You know fresh fish in the supermarket on VAT? Fresh fish. Tree on VAT. You know that in the supermarket? Root flour on VAT. Blackfish oil on VAT. Coconut oil. Callaloo. Carrots. Sage. Cabbage. Passion fruit. Limes. Lemons. Oranges. Guava. Sweet potato. Dry coconut. Yam. Dasheen. Fresh pigeon peas. Those. Pumpkin. Pawpaw. Plum rose, banana, mango, sweet plantain, all of those carry VAT in the supermarket. Things you have to use all the time. So you can't say, I am not a taxpayer, and therefore some things don't affect me. The VAT is a tax. And some basic things that you're paying VAT. And the government is collecting $75 million, that's the figure for 2014 last year, from that. And there are a lot of things which really don't need to be on that. Because it's not in our interest to be in VAT. When you put so many agricultural items that are produced in Milton and Grenadine on VAT, you're making them more expensive to the consumer. And the farmer will sell less because the price gets higher. So it's hurting the local farmers also. So any government worth its salt will look into these things and ensure that if you implement that, you don't put it in items that are going to hurt the common man in this country. We're talking about $75 million. 75. When you really look at some of the things, you know, anthurium, lilies, pepper, cucumber, all that's carrying back in the supermarket. And people are not often aware of it. Not often aware. Yes, anthurium there too. I just wanted to make that point because it's not just food. The other basic things we shouldn't carry back. You know, school uniforms. School uniforms carry back. Oh yes. Shirts to school. I don't know how to identify this. Carry back. Pants, skirts, overall, school uniform, ties, socks, school bags, pencil sharpener, eraser, rubber, notebook, mathematical sets, lunch kits, sketchbooks, coloring books, crayons, rulers, pencil art, when the child do that. All those things are on back till today. And there's no need. You talk about education revolution. There's no need for these things to be on that. There are things that could be on that. I'm not against that, you know. But if you are implementing it, you think before you implement it, and you think before what you put in it. People are struggling to get their children into school. I have that experience year after year, and this year I'm telling you was the worst.
Yeah, man.
Was the worst. But those things could be 15% or more cheaper. If they were not on VAT. This is very important, you know. Maybe simple, but it's important. And that is why one of the reasons, you know, we say that we're going to pay the fees for all the persons who do CAPE and sexy and so on when the Democratic Party is in government. Because we believe that you have to make the path as easy as possible for poor people in our country to be in a position to ensure that their children have the best possible education, which can lead to the best development in our country. Very, very important.
Plans, man.
That is some of the school items.
We got plans.
But you know, they have some other items that I don't understand. Maybe Exeter will understand it better than me. Because we have the corned beef name, but corned beef here too.
Oh God! All the chunks still it. Chuck seed chunks still it. Chuck for chunks.
You know, pigtail here.
Chuck for chunks.
Lentil peas.
Oh God!
Split peas.
Chuck for chunks.
Them small sausage. Cheese. And if that is not enough, you know, there are medications, a lot of medications that carry VAT in this system, you know. People struggling with the medications. And you have basic medication for the treatment of the undermentioned ailments. Glaucoma to the eye, cataract, diabetes, medication, hypertension, kidney disease, asthma, heart disease, dialysis machines. Even to bring in a dialysis machine here, you have to pay back. And they even have the nebulizing machine on back. So even in basic health requirements, they are carrying back also. That needs to be looked at again in a sensible way.
Yes.
And those kinds of sensitive items that are so needed for the population should be removed, and the new Democratic Party will remove them.
We have vision and plan, them I love. Your plan of vision.
When I really started to go to this list, this is thousands of items, you know, thousands of items.
Look for chunks.
On the bad list. That is why you're making so much money. 75 million. Then you have problems with those things for sports. You're talking about sports for young people. Sports to push them to the top so they can go abroad and represent this country or work abroad in areas of sport. But football, boots and all those things carry back. Almost every single thing required for any sport carries a bat price attached to it. So we have a list of items. But you remove also that deal with sports. Because you have teams struggling in the various villages and towns in this country because the sports equipment is too expensive. And you have to remember something else. Whenever you're going to price something, set the price. And they have to import it, for instance. You pay the cost of the item. Then you have to pay import duty on top of that. Then you have customs service charge. Then you have to put the VAT on top of all those together, you know. It's not 50% on what it costs. It's 15% on all the levels that you put on. So you don't work out at 15% of the price, you know. It works out at plenty more than 15%. So we have to look at these things very carefully and come up with a VAT list that recognizes the state of people's pocket, that recognizes the state of our economy, and therefore bring more balance and give more support to those who need it most. I take this matter very, very seriously. Very, very seriously. Because our economy is in a total mess right now. Total mess. And this is causing very great hardship on a lot of people in St. Vincent and Grenada. And I meet a lot of people in my office. I'm telling you. And it really bothers me as a person to see people coming to you day after day. There's not a day, you know, that I go to work, then somebody doesn't come for assistance in some form, you know. Not a day. A couple Fridays ago, 41 people came to my office. 41 in a single day. And you can see from their faces, from what they say to you, that they need the assistance. You will find the odd person who try to trick you, and so on. But some will get away. But in the end, the fact remains. The fact remains that they need the assistance. And when I spoke on the medical item, I had to deal with a young lady this week who has cancer.
Oh God.
A young woman. I'm looking for some assistance to do something. And when I spoke to her, and she has some young children, you have to sympathize. That a person covered with that disease, who is still in her 20s, still in her 20s, but very buoyant and laughing and chatting. I admired her greatly that she could deal with a matter like that and still have that kind of attitude. But the fact remains, she needed the help. And you know, she went outside of St. Vincent and Grenadines, in another CARICOM country, went into hospital and was treated for free. You know, chemotherapy was done for free. We don't have that here. We don't even have the medication here. But let's stop that. But there are hundreds and thousands of people in our country who need assistance today. Today. They need it. They are suffering. And it's important that we don't forget these things. It's very important that we don't forget these things. We don't leave those people unattended. Even if you can't give all, you can give something. 12. You have to build their confidence. Give them some hope. I have so many cases. Sometimes, soon as I go home, boys, I better get the scotch. So what you hear during the course of the day. There are plenty of people like that. And this is not restricted to any particular constituency. People come to me from all constituencies every week. And a number of those persons cannot send their children to school for the whole week. And then you say you have an education revolution. You have an education revolution with hungry people.
That's for them.
They won't learn. They have to deal with the basics that are affecting them. And I'm saying that the way you deal with that is one method of assisting to deal with this kind of problem that we have in citizens in Uganda. We have been discussing all the time. You've heard the campaign saying the main thing we have to deal with is getting more jobs for the people in our country. More jobs. And last night, at the NDP headquarters, there was a function. I made a function with the young people there. And you, all of you know, we have said that in the first year of our administration, we'll create 500 jobs in information technology. 500 jobs. I believe that thing. And already we have the evidence coming. Some months ago I addressed a meeting down in Nature's constituency. And I spoke about some American persons and from other countries who we were working with. And in the event that we win the election, that they will help us with the information technology and bring companies to St. Vincent where many people will be employed in information technology. But we've gone past that already. I mean, not yet in office. Because last night, in the headquarters, I had to congratulate a young man from East Kingstown. I'm happy to say, or they take that. From East Kingstown, who has set up his own business in information technology. A kind of call center. Right? His name is Romain Reed. And one of the companies, one of the big companies in the States who we have been dealing with, have now invited him to the States now for the next 3 months to train him more in how to manage his technology business. So he'll be leaving in a few days to go to the United States, where they'll be trained by people who run big companies like that, trained to manage his own business. And that young man, by the way, is about 32 years old. And his little company in St. Vincent, his little call center, is now employing 84 people. His little call center is now employing 84 persons. Yeah, he ain't got nothing for NCB. NCB dead?
Yes.
It shows you what can be done. It shows you what can be done. And we'll get some of those businesses set up here by those big companies, and that is how we'll get our 500 jobs in the first year of a new Democratic Party administration. So the people really begin to show that they're really serious, although we're not yet in office. And you know what else they're doing? They're allowing him, through the technology, to manage his own business from up there, you know. Because they have the technology to do that. So while he's in the States, he's still managing his own business down here, you know, while learning new and improved techniques to make his business more profitable. And that is why I'm telling you, we're going to deal with the issue of jobs. We won't wait until sometime we win the election. We started working with people early. In the event that we win, we're ready to move right away. And in a few days, you will see another manifestation of that. What happens when we go ahead? I'm not telling you that one tonight though.
Alright then. We're not sleeping.
But we having a special,
Yeah, he's awake.
we having a special program that one, which will be announced shortly.
Yeah, he's awake.
Because we are moving ahead already,
Yeah,
although no election has been held. In the interest of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are moving on. And you know, one of the reasons for that is that this team here don't lack brains. We have brains. And we know how to use our brains. And people respect the way we go about doing things. And therefore, even before you are in office, they are making approaches and efforts to give you assistance, as in this particular case. Because they heard us talking about these things before. And they are convinced that we are serious about it. And they are providing that assistance, and they're going to provide more to us. And I know that two of them in particular are interested in starting up call centers in St. Vincent once the NDP wins the election. And the NDP is going to win it. So I know we're going to have the call centers anyway. These are important things. These are important things. Cussing people and telling them all kind of foolishness by themselves. That don't carry us nowhere. What carries us somewhere is to be able to satisfy the needs of our people, particularly in relation to jobs. Too many Vincentians are at home unemployed. Too many. And we have in our social, spiritual redemption charter, we haven't that, you know, that we want to make sure that every household has at least one person working. You know what the ULP turned that wrong to say? That we're going to, if we have a house that two people working, we're going to take one, fire one of them, and give somebody who have a house the other one. I mean, that's stupidness. What are you going to take with somebody's job for? To do what? To make them poorer? What we want to do is produce the opportunities to allow you to assist those who don't have any job at all. And that's our interest. Not this foolishness that Gonzalo them talking about. Sometimes what was wrong with his head. The kind of things that they go about saying, they don't make any sense. Why would we want to take away somebody's job? What I'm interested in doing. What I'm interested in doing is some of those in their midst, who have removed millions of dollars from the economy of this country. Millions of dollars. I've asked about some people already, and they say they're not answering the question. I've asked about the Attorney General's husband, who's director, was chairman of the board of NCB. I want to know what happened to his loan, which is over $2 million. You can't get any answer. I asked about Mr. Brown, from Brown's Hardware, his loan of 4-point-something million. I want to know what happened to it. Is he paying anything on it? I want to know these things because these things are taking money from the pockets of the poor people in this country to enrich a few people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that has to stop. Gonzalo, I told you already, you all are going to pay a price for that corruption that is taking place in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I ain't joking about this idea. You're going to pay a price for that corruption. I don't say we're going to live. I want to know where the money is and how we're going to get it back. In the meantime, you're going to sleep somewhere else. Let me put it that way. The point is, part of the reason for our poverty is corruption. That is part of the reason, because money is being diverted from projects into the pockets of a few people. You can tell me any reason in the world why Beach should be working, fathers getting a big salary. Beach 84. Last figure they said they're earning $127,000 a year. But that ain't all. He's also member and chairman of several boards, to which he's also paid. So it's not $170,000 to $127,000 a year. And then you have thousands of young students who've graduated from the community college and so on, and they're not working. Hundreds of them can be paid from the salaries of some of those fellows who do not work at all, like Bonds Bonady. As you heard Leacock say over and over again, he's supposed to be running an institute for workers. But the institute don't exist.
Bala too, Bala.
Yes.
Bala.
It don't exist, but they get in pay every month. How you do that? So when that money is spent that way, it means that somebody else can't get employed. And that contributes to the poverty in St. Vincent de Grenadines. And our job, our main job, this team here, is to build back the economy so the people of St. Vincent de Grenadines can get jobs. Because even the crime that we have, that's increasing all the time, is related to the lack of work. Young people idle all day with nothing to do. You know what that means? When you have idle hands, other things happen. We have to be in a position. We have to be in a position to deal with these matters and deal with them very seriously. Well, listen, don't bother about Camelo, you know. Camelo had to win first. And that ain't possible. So I ain't bothered with him at all. I know that Dr. Lewis will deal with Camelo. I spend no time on Camelo. I spend no time talking about these things. Our time is spent trying to develop projects and programs as a new administration that we will implement for the benefit of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's what our job is about. And tonight, because I don't want to be long tonight, because I have other people to speak. But I made a statement this week on bananas, and I want to repeat some of it. And I'm going to repeat it every day for a while. Because it's very, very important to show the difference between the two parties. The difference between the NDP and the Unity Labour Party. I happen to be doing some research, trying to check back from the beginnings of the NDP with the banana industry, and then continuing through the period of the ULP. You had 17 years of NDP or thereabouts. In the 17 years of the NDP, we exported $1,138,990,000 worth of bananas. Over $1 billion in bananas. And during the NDP, our exports of food was more than our imports of food. In the ULP, for their 14 and a half years, they did 291 million compared with our 1,138,000,000. And as Leacock said, that's $847 million less than the NDP owned. 847 million. Nearly the price of the airport out there that they're wasting our money on.
Tell them.
It's a serious matter. You imagine we exported $847 million more in bananas than the ULP. There's only a 3-year difference. They did only 291 million with 14 and a half years. And we did 1.1 billion in 17. You see the difference?
Better team, man.
You know how many people benefit from that?
Better team.
True.
We have to change the government.
Natural.
We have to get rid of them. Really, no. I'm deadly serious about this matter. I spent a lot of my life Dealing matters related to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I know I could have done plenty better overseas. But I came home to serve, and I will continue to serve until the time comes for me to go.
Black government.
And the people will determine that. But the issue is what we did in our time.
That's right.
Compared with what is happening now.
One man can build.
And given what is happening now,
One man can build.
it's really time for them, more than time for them to go.
Your turn.
Let me ask you something.
Your turn.
If
One man can build.
a man is on a board,
Let me see what you could do.
or is an advisor,
That's right.
and he earns
One government give you bucket.
over $100,000 a year, people like Bonds, Bonds and so on, who don't have an office,
Bon, you drink every day.
what do you expect to happen to our country if people carry these salaries and not working? They're not doing anything, you know. Yeah, they are leeches in our society. That's what they are. They're sucking the blood of this country, and therefore the blood of our people. So I'm urging you to look carefully at what is happening. Listen to what we are saying. Because we have been doing the research, checking out the figures. I know some people don't like figures, you know. And all them tell me I like figures. I like figures, I didn't. Maths was my worst subject. But understand the figures anyhow.
Yeah, you got to work.
And all I'm saying to you, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the time has come.
To that last lap for them.
The time has come when we must make the change and root out from our country the Unity Labour Party. There is no doubt whatsoever in my own mind on that particular matter. And what is even more important to me is that I have the confidence that the persons who are in this seat, the persons who are sitting behind me here, and some of them over there, and I see Brother Stewart there who works very well with us, who are making the contribution to ensure that a new Democratic Party government will build back the economy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to the point where every man, woman and child in this nation has a decent standard of living. That is our goal, that your children be able to go to school every day, that we're able to feed them, that we're able to clothe them. In other words, prepare them for life. And when that happens, our country will be a beautiful country. Once they get jobs, and you create the climate that allows jobs to come in, then you'll deal with a lot of the crime at the same time. But one thing I'm insisting on, those who took the money that they shouldn't take must pay the price.
Pay the price, man.
They must pay the price.
Good for them.
I have often given an example at these meetings, you know, about the permanent secretary, because it bothers me every time I even think about it. Who set up a company, his own private company in the Ministry of Agriculture, using the same staff from the ministry who already get paid by the government to set up his own company. And they are selling things to the ministry. So he's selling to his ministry. And he's in charge of the money in his ministry that they have to pay out. And one of the nastiest things I've ever seen in terms of corruption is that same permanent secretary company sold to the ministry something that they bought for $14.96 US. That's what is bought for overseas by their company. But they sell it to the Ministry of Agriculture for $1,400 EC dollars. It is bought for $14.96 US. How much that? $40. And they sell it back to the ministry for $1,400. So you paid for that. Your taxpayers paid for that. Should only pay $40, you should only pay $40, $50 straight, you pay $1,400. People like that have to pay the price. They have to. They have to pay the price. And the new Democratic Party not taking that line now. I promise you that. We're not taking that lightly. Our churches and our institutions not speaking much about these things. We have to speak about them. Because the job falls on this party. It falls on you, the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines, who support us, to be able to clean up this act and bring an improved standard of living to all of our people. And there are so many instances of these things, you won't believe it, because the information is not public. You have to dig for it. I've been trying to get the banana figure for years now, but I find a way now to get it. And that is how I know that the banana sales was over $1 billion on the NDP time. When I was involved in banana, but I couldn't get that figure. But I know a few things better now. And I'm saying to you, and this is my last promise tonight, this team that is sitting on this platform, and those who are not here tonight, we give you our solemn commitment that will change St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the better. I give you that solemn promise for the better. And I want to thank we're here with you. I don't vote. I want to thank you for explaining the issue with the land, Kong land. That in fact, you can own the Kong land without having to pay if you've been there for over 30 years. A lot of people have paid for those lands. And now we have the information. It's for us and for all of you who are involved in anything like that to now learn the lesson and take the necessary action. Because you have some money to get back in some cases. It's a very serious issue. And I want to thank them most sincerely because some people won't come up on this platform. They'll be afraid. She and her late friend Nicole have always come forward and defended the New Democratic Party when we had cases before the court. You know? So I want also at the same time to pay tribute to the late Nicole Sylvester, who did a lot for us. Remember the case even when they wanted to increase to 67. It was her and Nicole, Daddy Pulse, who came forward and defended us for nothing. They didn't charge us anything, but we won the case. And I'm eternally grateful to them for that. And I thank her again for coming forward tonight to show her support for the people of this country. And we are glad that the mechanism to use was through the New Democratic Party. Thank you very much, and good night, and may God bless you all.